I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 9 through 12. Back in the 90s, there was a, quote, prayer of Jebez movement. Can you elaborate on it, please? Yes, it was a very brief prayer that a man made, which an entire movement and books and posters and everything was created because there was a man by the name of Jebez who asked the Lord to expand his territory. And so the movement was this concept of, I can pray that God will give me more opportunity, more ministry, more this, more that. Within just the framework of biblical orthodoxy, it was this desire for the Lord to give us more impact on behalf of Him. Now, obviously, some people took it sideways, looking for more money, power, etc. But at the end of the day, here's what you need to know about the prayer of Jebez, not only 1 Chronicles, but our lives today. And I know many of you are familiar with what I'm about to say. I'll say it as quickly as I can. When you approach any scripture in the Bible, okay, it has multiple layers of interpretation. There's the historical interpretation. It's Jebez, it's a prayer, it happened. It is what it is. Doctrinal, specific people, specific time, specific purpose. Spiritual, how can we as New Testament believers in Jesus Christ, how can we learn and receive guidance from the Lord from passages that were not necessarily designed for what we know as the church? Classic examples, the 10 Commandments, another question, another day. Now, why is that important? In your Old Testament, within what we know as the Abrahamic covenant, when one was in a right relationship with God, they were favored physically. Okay, that is why you see people such as Abraham and Solomon and others with so much wealth and lands and all these things. And you see Job having double in chapter 42 what he had in chapter 1. When Jebez is praying for more impact and territory, he's basically praying, God, I want to know you at a greater level. And if I receive more lands, that means that I am walking in step with you. Here's the problem. That's the exact opposite of the New Testament. Look at the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul basically said that if we're walking with the Lord, we will have hostility. There are people that will abandon us. And in his case, he was stoned to death and he was put in prison numerous times and he was shipwrecked. And again, this is one of my big struggles with what today we would call the prosperity movement, that we take the doctrinal of the Old Testament and we apply it to the church. Now, what does that mean? Right now, whoever's watching out there, if you are a believer in Jesus Christ right now, okay, can you ask the Lord in the spirit of Jebez for more impact and more influence? Oh, absolutely. But the concept that walking with the Lord gives you more money, more lands, more stuff, that's not a New Testament concept. And so we have to understand Jesus was right. He said in John chapter 15, don't marvel, if they hate you, they hated me first. And so doctrinally, you've got to flip this famous prayer. Great question. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thank you so much for being a part of our daily question here at the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. I want to encourage you on a few things. Number one, if you have a question to ask, submit it to AskJeff.net. Eventually, we'll get around to your question. Secondly, we'd encourage you to subscribe. That way, each and every day, Monday through Friday, you get a reminder of our question of the day. And last but not least, I want to remind you that on Wednesday evenings, live at First Baptist Church of Opelika, fbcopelika.com, we do a solid hour of Ask Jeff where we dig into the questions more than just 60 or 90 seconds. Sometimes it would take the entire hour. All that being said, AskJeff.net is where you submit a question to this channel each and every day, Monday through Friday.